Just a quick reminder now, these are the chimney pots that I'm trying to replicate now. I managed to get the stonework on and I've now got the little capping on, but the problem is I've got to try and get the caps to represent how they looked in real life. I did experiment with little bits of balsa wood and don't know whether I'm going to use it or not yet, because it's a little bit fiddly and it's going to be very difficult to shape afterwards, so I may come up with another idea yet, but a lot of this is down to experimentation. Okay then, who likes puzzles? Because this is the next little bit of the construction that we're going to do. I've managed to get all these little bits of chimney stacks together, and I'm just going to show you how I put them together now. Okay, first of all, this is the double chimney that I showed you how I put this together, and it's now been fitted and it's going to fit okay. What I've done is I have made this coping here. I showed you this last time, so I'm going to glue this on first of all. And it's easier if I put it upside down and I can get it aligned a lot better this way. Okay, so that bit's done. Next we've got the chimney pots. These chimney pots, you saw me construct these earlier, and I've managed to level them all up and everything now. So I'm going to put glue on there. That's one on. Glue on here. That's another one. And it's a case of just spacing them out so they look right. Do it both ways. And really, even if it's not perfectly level, it's not a big deal, because they weren't always perfectly level in those days, were they? Okay, the next job, I've got these little cappings that I made. Again, I made these out of balsa wood. I painted them black, and this is the actual chimney top itself. So, oops, getting sloppy there. One on there. I'll line it up in a moment. And these have just been taken off the photographs that I've got to make them look as realistic as the ones that were actually on the lead station itself. I don't think that's too bad now. Just get my little old trusty bamboo skewer. Take off the surplus glue there, surplus off there. It doesn't matter if you leave it a bit messy. Who's going to see it's on the top of a roof, isn't it? What I will probably do with these afterwards is I will probably drill a hole in the top and make it a round hole, and then paint it very dark black, if you could have such a thing. Wonder what these are. Little squiggly bits here. Well, if you haven't worked it out, these squiggly bits are actually going to go along here, and they're going to be the LED flashings on the chimney. So what I'm going to do is wrap them over with aluminium foil, and then that'll represent the lead that they were made with. So I'm not going to do that now, because it's going to take too long. So I'm just going to check these look okay now, and if they do, I'm going to leave that to set. I don't think those look too bad at all. It's not bad, is it, for a little chimney, that? The other one, this is the other one that I did. So this is a single chimney. So this is going to have the same setup. It's going to have the coping on here like so. Whoops. Then it's going to have the chimney pot on there. Then it's going to have the topping. So I'm going to assemble that. Whoops, it fell off. Never mind. I'm going to assemble that, and then when it's glued I'll show you how I put them on the building itself, and I'll show you how I deal with the flashings as well. So that's the latest little update. Taking shape now, isn't it? Taking shape. What I did for the flashings was to stick them onto aluminium foil so that the non-shiny side will be the side that shows. So what I did then was cut out those carefully. I forgot to mention they need to go on in pairs as well, because they're not exactly at 45 degrees. So if you do them in pairs, you'll solve the problem. What I've done, I've cut that out now of the roof. I'm now going to cut down between each of these little triangles, like so, 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 so and so. That's so and so. And then again, I should have this ready, my trusty little bamboo skewer, and what I'm going to do is to fold over these things so that it leaves them in the triangles. I hope you can see this clearly. It's a little bit fiddly, as you can see. Probably better holding it with a pair of pliers or even a mic. Oops, that's no good. Pliers or a pair of tweezers, I was going to say, but you get the idea. So I can fold those over now, and I'm left with the triangular shape. It's flying about. Left with the triangular shape like so. Can you see it? Then it's going to be a case of sticking that onto the chimney in the appropriate place. So I'll show you, and if you do it right, if you're very careful about it, you can actually get the courses to line up with the courses of stonework, which is what I've tried to do. So what I'm going to do is complete all of those flashings now, and there will be a full piece around this side as well, and there'll be a full piece around this bottom edge, and on the double ones there'll be full pieces as well, as it would be in a real chimney. So I'm going to leave it there, and when I come back all those flashings should be on, and we'll be ready for finally fixing the chimneys, and then that should almost completion of the main structure of the building. We're almost there now. As you can see, I got my flashings all nicely lined up on the chimney now. So what I'm going to do is put the chimney pots on. So a liberal sprinkling of glue, which I'm doing now. And I'm quite pleased with the... Oh, I forgot to mention also that I'd finished all the ridge tiles off as well. So that's all that needs, that little bit on there now. And that's that chimney pot done. This one is going to be a little bit more difficult, I think. This is the single one. So you remember this, the old glue. I'm reverting back to this because it's a little bit on the thicker side. I never showed you the construction of this, did you? Did I? What I've done, I've used balsa wood and cardboard there. So those two little tiny bits here and here, those are balsa wood. So here we go with this glue, which is just, as I say, it's a little bit thicker, so I'm hoping that there'll be less slide with it. I've also got the flashings done on these as well, as you will notice. So this goes here, and it's a hoping it will stay in place. I may have to find out. Oh, that looks pretty good. That's not bad at all. Not bad at all. So what I'll do, I'll put that in place now and then show you what it looks like in its final position. This is the exciting part now, because we can see what it looks like in almost its finished condition. I think the chimneys look quite well, and I'm very pleased actually with the finish of the roof. It's where I've been a little bit sloppy and everything, but I think it adds a lot of character to the roof, and all the ridge tiles and hip tiles are blended in really well as well. So you can see those little dark bits and everything, which makes it look like a really aged roof. So I'm very pleased with that. The final thing now to finish off is going to be the canopies. So that's going to be a little bit of extra work there. So I'm looking forward to doing the canopies, and I'll keep you informed as to progress in the not too distant future. Thanks for watching. The next stage of the proceedings is to make the canopy. Now the canopy is going to try and represent this as it looks here. If you look on the other side of the platform, then you'll see I've already constructed this on my model. Therefore I'm going to use the same centres, those are 50mm, and I'm going to transfer them onto this side, and we're going to use the same measurements. I've calculated that we're going to need 8 pillars altogether. We're going to be 3 long ones and 5 short ones. So I designed it using the measurements from the building, and these are the pillars here, and this is going to be the platform level. So this shaded section is a platform, and this is going to be the ground level. So some of these are going to be sitting on the platform, so these are going to be 10mm shorter than these longer ones that are here going down to the ground level. And I've calculated the shape based on what was on the actual station itself. So using those measurements, I've now transferred it. I'm going to transfer it over to my model here, and if you look carefully, you'll notice I'm using my old piece of wood there again, which is very useful, this piece of wood here. I've been using that for everything. So it just happens to be the same thickness as the platform. So you can see on the side, this is the side where the 10mm longer pillars will need to be. And from the platform side here, they'll need to go down to the platform, so they'll be 10mm shorter. So I'm going to make some prototypes now in cardboard and make the roof to the slant that I've designed on the drawing. So we'll take it from there. These stanchions and canopy supports are going to be the next thing I'm going to build. What I did was take this original drawing and I photocopied it. That photocopy I cut out and I stuck it next to it, so I had 2 then. Those 2 I then photocopied, and I ended up with 4. So this is the total of the stanchions that are going to go on the station side. So what I did then was I copied that twice. So I've now got actually 12 of those. So that'll do for the return round the side as well. I then decided it's probably going to be easier, rather than having these stanchions going all the way up here and cutting out these little sections here and sticking them between the posts. I decided it's better if I make the whole of this, all 4 of those, as one unit, and then the pillars will actually stop here and this will be stuck onto the top of the pillars. The problem I've got is that I can't glue anything down to the actual station itself, to the platform. That's because it's not going to be permanently there, it'll be a removable station. So I've got that problem to overcome. So this is the first initial stages. Now what I'll do, as I say, I'll cut these out, I'll stick them onto my balsa wood, at this end, and then I'll cut them all out. So I've actually got 4 of those. As you can see, I've got the main 2 sections cut out now. That's for the platform side and for the side of the building where the canopy returns. But it's been very, very difficult cutting these little holes out. As you can see, I don't know whether that's better for you to see there or whether it's better on the paper, but you can see it's very, very intricate and it takes a lot of work. So what I'm thinking of doing is I'm going to probably get a drill, and I'm going to drill the main section of this out first, and the same with the smaller sections. Use a smaller size drill and then it should be easier to cut out. But it's going to take me quite a while yet to get all these done, and then I've got 2 smaller sections as well. I'll try doing a sample hole on one of these spare bits here. So what I'm planning doing, I'm not going to use any electric drill or anything, I'm just going to do it with my hand. Oh, that's not bad actually. That's not bad at all. I think that's going to work. I'll try it on one of these now, the actual piece where it's going to be. So technically I should go through until the point comes out and then turn it over and go through from the other side, and then that'll stop the hole from spelching out. It'll give a much cleaner hole. So that's going to be successful. I think that's going to help me a lot now. I'll plod on then, I'll plod on. I'm going to be concluding this video here. So I will continue the construction of the canopy in part 7. So don't miss it, and thanks very much for watching.